Alright, so I'm making this video for Dan Behrendt, author behind the book The Synchromystic, Understanding the World Through Signs, Symbols, Letters, and Numbers. Now, as of today, this book came out 496 days ago. So in this video, I want to talk a bit about the number 496. I really wanted to do a proper review of his book. I got his book a while back, but I decided to make a video about it because of something I read on his blog, the mindlessfreaksblogspot.com. It was one of his most recent posts. I think it was December 12th, maybe the 13th. I don't know. I read it a couple days ago, but I didn't have the time to make a video until today. And then I noticed today was 496 days after he put the book out. But about this blog post, I mean, I don't want to give away his, family details and whatnot, but he's put this out publicly. Some things he's talked about in videos, and I mean, you can read from his blog post, and he leaves link to his blog. So just having to do with a bit of a money crisis, I guess you could say. Something about garnished wages, maybe. A student loan to come back to haunt him after so many years, and somebody in his family gone in a spending spree of sorts. But yeah, I really felt bad for him. And I have no reason to believe that that's why he put this post out there. He doesn't seem like one of those people that's trying to get sympathy. But I did want to remind people that he has a book out there for sale. It's a very good book. I have it right here, right next to me. I did want to do a proper review, but I saw some interesting connections that I have to share. So I'll have to save the review for another time. Some of you may remember that I put out a video announcing the release of his book. I'll leave a link in the description box for that, as well as some links to his videos. So here's a date calculation. Today, when I'm making this video, is December 15th, 2022. And he put this book out on August 6th, 2021. As you can see, from August 6th, 2021 until today is 496 days. 496 is a significant number. It's what's known as a perfect number. It's hard to name off too many of those, but it's the third perfect number. And it's also a triangular number. I don't know of any perfect numbers that are not also triangular numbers. For what it's worth, 496 is the 31st triangular number, but I don't really want to talk about 31. I want to talk about the 496. The book has a lot to do with gematria. And just so you know, there's a cipher of gematria called reverse primes, in which the word gematria equals 496. Actually, there's a lot of connections that I could make, but I wanted to keep this simple. But I wanted to point out that Ein Sof equals 496 with the trigonal cipher, Ein Sof. And that's noteworthy because I asked Dan if I could do his song, Ein Sof. And it just so happens that I posted it 2 years ago. As of today, it was 2 years ago. So Dan granted permission. Yes, I could put the song up on my channel. And he noticed, he pointed out in his blog and maybe in a video that there was some interesting alignments with when I asked or when I posted it. And that was not my aim. And before people start typing in a question in the comments section, no, I did not aim to put this video out because of the 496 days. I only thought about it because his blog post kind of grabbed my attention and made me want to tell people he does have this book out. He could probably use a few bucks. But I mean, I don't know what his sales are doing for this. I remember when it first came out, it was pretty expensive. I think maybe the the pictures were in color and whatever, and there was something about it that made it very expensive. And I think he was all but telling people pretty much, I don't think you want to spend your money on this, but you can buy the paperback on Amazon now. It's for like $18. So it's a good book. It shows some gematria ciphers, talked about symbolism, um, numerology, synchronicity. So I have the book description. You can pause and screenshot that or read that. But anyway, as of today, December 15th, 2022, that book came out 496 days ago. It's worth pointing out that if we use the reverse satanic cipher, the word Fibonacci equals 496. Now, 496 is not a Fibonacci number, but the cover of Dan's book, as well as the release date, reminded me of Fibonacci. I talked about this 496 days ago. If you guys follow my videos, it's a video that looks like this. The thumbnail picture off to the left shows his book cover, and off to the right you can see an 8 and a 6. And the reason it reminds me of Fibonacci is because it came out on August 6th in the year 2021. So abbreviated, that could be 8/6/21. 21 is a Fibonacci number. It's the 8th Fibonacci number, 8 like August. 8 is the 6th Fibonacci number, as in the 6th of August in the year 21. 21 reminds me of Fibonacci because of the Greek letter phi. Fibonacci and phi ratio, it's all related. And phi is the 21st letter of the modern Greek alphabet. Again, this book came out on August 6th, 8/6, and I talked about in that video, I'll leave a link in the description box, but I talked about how 6 and 8 have this relationship because not only is 8 the 6th Fibonacci number, but the 8th triangular number is the same as 6 squared, meaning 6 times itself equals the same as the 8th triangular number. To get that number, you add the numbers 1 through 8. And the sum is equal to 6 squared. Also, the 6th triangular number is the same as the 8th Fibonacci number. So 6 and 8 have this relationship, and it's all tied in with the 21 there. Came out on August 6th, 21. Now, I told you the word gematria has a value of 496. The book is largely about gematria. Ein Sof with the trigonal cipher equals 496. If you recall, Dan gave me permission to mirror that song on my channel. And it was exactly 2 years ago today. Again, this was not planned. I didn't do it by the numbers or anything. The song really got my attention, and I just felt compelled to put it on my channel. But I want you to notice that the words magic square also has a value of 496. This is with the quote-unquote Latin cipher at gematrinator.com. They used to call it Jewish gematria. Some calculators might call it Agrippa. But if you go to the website gematrinator.com, click on the Latin cipher, type in magic square, you get a sum of 496. And just this morning, I crafted a couple of magic squares, making the total sum to 496. All of the numbers, all of the cells added together equals 496. This first square, notice the top row 11 plus 10 plus 19 plus 84. That equals 124. The row below that, 124. Before that, below that, 124. Below that, 124. Add them all together, the sum is 496. Do the same thing with the columns, up and down. The diagonals, the four corners, add those together, 124. Add the four cells in the center, 124. But anyways, add them all up to get a total of 496. Again, the words magic square has a value of 496. And I'll show you another square with a different set of numbers, but just going back to that original one there. The reason for the top row was because I mistakenly thought that that was Dan Behrendt's date of birth. But either way, you can say that is his birthday. I guess it was his second birthday, the year he turned 1984. The main reason I probably had that in my head because I was at the store yesterday, and I noticed on a bookshelf was the book, the George Orwell book, 1984, and it was way out of place. It was not where it should have been. And I realized I had never read that book. I've seen the movie, but I've never actually read the book. So I decided to pick it up, and well, because I thought 1984 was his year of birth, I just added up the date numerology. There was 124, and I just figured times 4, there gets the 4x4 magic square, totaling 496. So I don't know if these other numbers, Dan, if you're watching, if these other numbers are significant to you, or if something special happened on your second birthday. I'm sure you probably don't remember, but let me show you this other magic square. So this next magic square, the top row, looks like the date of Andy Kaufman's death. And I know Dan's covered Andy Kaufman a little bit. He has at least one video about him. And if we use the Satanic Gematria cipher, the name Andy Kaufman equals 496. And I'm going to show you the magic square where all of the cells added together equals 496. So for now, I'm calling this one the Andy Kaufman Death Square. So Andy Kaufman died on May 16th in the year 1984. Get the date numerology, 5 plus 16 plus 19 plus 84, you get 124. So I just composed this magic square around those numbers. And all of the cells added together get you the 496. It's worth noting that 496 is 16 times 31. And there's 16 cells in that 4x4 magic square. And the 31st triangular number is 496. All the cells added together equals 496. And again, Andy Kaufman has a gematria value of 496. This next bit probably only Dan or a few people will get, but as of today, December 15th, 2022, going forward 496 days brings you to April 24th. I've covered this, and Dan's covered it quite a bit. That the name Donald Trump in all caps has a gematria value of 424, and it's if you spell out his name in a certain way in the Hebrew characters, it equals 424, just like a spelling of something like the Messiah, son of David. If you do a Google Translate, you just have to remove that aleph. Yeah, the Hebrew characters equals 424, just like Donald Trump in all caps. Remember, you touched the Western Wall at 424. Anyway, so that's what I think of April 24th. And from today going forward, that many days, 496 days.